What's up, everybody? It's like 70 degrees out right now. It is warm. We're gonna be doing some tail whips today. I'm gonna show you guys how to do some tail whips today. Subscribe to the channel and let's get right into it. Alright, so you guys want to learn how to tail whip. Well, you've come to the right place. There are 3 steps to learning the tail whip. Here's step 1. The first step to learn the tail whip is just practicing to spin your deck around. Now, how might you do that, you might ask? Well, it's all about the wrists. You're going to want to bring one side up and one side down, and one side up and one side down, over and over and over and over again. And you're going to want to sit there for an hour and just do it. Alright, so it's been an hour, and you're absolutely bored out of your mind. Well, let me give you a few more things that might help. Now, you also want to kind of be moving it like side to side at the same time. Not that much, but just a little. Ow. Okay. It takes a long time, and it's really just all in the arms. Now, if you're doing a real tail whip, you might think you're using your feet, but that's not what it's about. It's not about the flick. It's all about your arms, and that is it. So just sit there. You can do it wherever, my bad. As long as you have room for your scooter to spin around, you can do it. Do this whenever you have free time. You'll get the motion down in no time. Be perfect. And on to the second step. So, you've mastered the spin. Now it's on to the second step. The second step brings in the flick a little bit. What you're going to want to do is you're going to ride, put your foot down, flick, catch it, hop back on. And you're going to want to do this also for an hour. Just sit there, catch that thing. It's going to be really boring, but you're going to need it. And don't forget, it's all in the arms. Don't try to rely on the flick of your foot, because that's not what it's about. The motion is what it's about. So keep on using your arms, but just ride, flick, catch, land back on. And just do that as long as it takes. Alright, you can do this pretty much anywhere too. You're gonna want like a flat surface. I'm just in a parking lot right now. That works perfectly. Just go anywhere where you have room to do it, your garage, anything. Ride, foot down, catch. Keep on doing that, and on to step 3. Alright, welcome to step 3, everybody. Step 3 is going to be a full tail whip. So, if you're on to this step, you've mastered putting your foot down, flicking, catching, going back on, and you should have also mastered the motion. Once you've mastered those 2 things, you're pretty much ready for the tail whip. Now let me show you how it goes. Alright, you guys have made it to the full tail whip now. Congratulations. Here's how you're going to want to do it. You have to put together the rotation and flicking and catching, and you have to put it into one movement. Here's how it's gonna look. Alright guys, welcome to another section of the parking lot where I'm going to show you guys what the whip actually looks like. So, this is a whip in action. You're going to want to get right in a little bit, go forward, whip. Now my foot slid off that time, but here we go. Whip. One more time. Whip. Now, this is the hardest part of the whole thing. So, if you still can't get it after that, just keep practicing. In the next section, though, we'll talk about some common mistakes that people make when trying to whip. Let's get right into it. All right. Now let's say you've been practicing your whole freaking life. You still can't get the whip down. Or you're just goofy and you're landing weird and you're just doing it all wrong. Here are some common mistakes that people make when trying to whip. Guys, the first common mistake I usually see is people bringing their deck way out in front of them. Now, there's a couple ways to fix this. One is just practice the motion as close to your shins as possible. Two is when you're in the air, try to bring your feet out, not that far, but just far enough that you're not as worried as hitting them. Because if you are bringing your deck out, it's usually because you're scared of hitting your shins. So, if your feet just aren't in the way, your shins can't get hit. Now that's mistake one. Here's mistake two. Mistake two, I don't know how common this is, but I do see it, is people, when they whip, they land with their feet in the other position. So if they're regular, they're landing goofy, and if they're goofy, they're landing regular. Now this is just weird, and really the only way to practice it is just to force yourself to actually land straight. But it is a hard habit to break. So if that's yours, you really just gotta go to the skate park and just land on your side over and over again. Just do that as many times as it takes for you to get used to the right way, not the wrong way. Because even if you can land it like that, it's gonna make it impossible for you to do other tricks with it in the future. So make sure you're doing it the right way and land on the right side of your deck instead of goofy, if that's how you scooter, or goofy instead of regular. Just figure out which way you scooter and try and land that same way when you do the tail whip. Now, on to the last mistake. The third mistake I see is just one, thinking you can do a tail whip when you don't have the motion down. Some people, their motion is really slow, like that, and they think they're ready for a whip, but they're not. I'll show you in this next section. All right, well, sorry about that, everybody. There was a car going past, but the third mistake was people thinking they're ready for a whip when their rotation is this slow. Now, for the people out there whose rotation is like this, and you can't do a whip, here's what I've got to tell you. Don't be afraid to just go back to the basics and just do it all over again. Even though it is crazy boring to just sit there and spin your scooter over and over again, it's the only way you're actually gonna get your thing down, unless you just do 1,000 slow tail whips, which isn't as effective as just doing probably like 10,000 right now. I don't even know. Just sit there, just do this, and get your motion down. And that is the last mistake. Alright guys, I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, please subscribe. We're at 16 subscribers at the moment. So, let's get it to 20 or something. I don't even know. Let's do it. Let's run it up, boys.